Welcome, everybody. It is a episode 36 version of the Odds Brothers coming to you split screen, even though we are right next to each other.
Woo!
You.
Your hands smell like Nebraska.
Oh, my goodness. I thought I washed them. Hit that beautiful bean footage.
All right.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers Podcast, coming to you from the Bentley Sportsbook inside the new Southland Casino and Hotel. Follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Today's show is presented by Bentley Online Sportsbook. Download the Bentley Online state-specific sportsbook app today from the Google Play or Apple App Stores. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark.
I'm not a smart man.
And Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
How about this?
There you go. Well, that's earlier than normal. Let's blame that.
It is earlier than normal. Somebody's got a conference call, so we got to get this thing rolling. But that means you get to see it a lot earlier than normal on a Monday.
Yes.
That's our gift to you. Absolutely free of charge on Cyber Monday. Listen to the Odds Brothers podcast up to an hour and a half early for no additional fee.
That's right. I like that. That's a great
like
one.
That one?
I do.
All right. Well, we are on episode 36. We are broadcasting live at Southland Casino and Hotel in beautiful, scenic West Memphis.
Yeah, you can smell it.
And, yeah, there's something going on today. I'm not quite sure where and what, but anyway. We're inside the Bentley Sportsbook, sports bar area. Come on and see us sometime on Mondays and Fridays. We record the show this Friday coming up. We're finally toward the end of the college football season, so a lot of the conference championship games will get going on this weekend. We'll have all your picks for that. Of course, Week 13 of the NFL. Still a good month and a half or so of that NFL season left over, and we'll start incorporating a lot more college and pro basketball games into the mix as well. Now that college football's going. And, of course, the bowl prediction show. And hopefully on Friday, Mark.
What?
Since we have a much reduced schedule or time for picking games.
All
there
right.
won't be as many.
All right.
We will go over what we had on the futures bets for the Power 5 conferences. Let's just say it's a mixed bag.
No, I'm good. 90%.
Yeah. Tune in Friday. You'll see. Now I know where that smell's coming from, actually.
You're stepping in it.
Yeah. It's right next to my shoe. 90%. All right. Today's show, we're going to go over all the weekend action that we had in college and pro football. We're going to take a last look here at the top 25. Well, second to last look. I guess it may change due to the conference games. We'll see who's going to the college football playoff after this weekend. And the rest of the bowl games will start filling in shortly thereafter. And we'll do our bowl prediction show later. I think the first one gets going in second week of December, actually. Second or third week of December, right before Christmas.
Oh,
You ready
boy.
to pick those UT San Antonio versus New Crapico State?
That means we get to give the holiday gift of free picks.
They keep on going. Stocking stuffers, baby. Early, I guess, since everybody has their tree up by now, I'm sure.
Not us.
Not us.
No, sir.
Although I'm getting pressed to put it up sooner than later. So that'll probably happen tomorrow. All right, you ready? Before we get to the Saturday games, I know we don't have these graphically, but North Carolina State did pull off a little bit of an upset there at North Carolina. 30-27. North Carolina State was favored by 6.5 on that one, so obviously that did not cover. And the over of 55.5 did materialize. UCLA in California. Boy, UCLA made that a lot tougher than they needed to be. They won by just 7. They were favored by 10.5. The over-under of 61.5 did materialize by just a 1.5. It was 63 was the final score there combined. And then the Florida State game. These rival games typically are closer. I forget what we actually picked in that game.
We both picked Florida State.
That's great because they didn't cover. They won by 7, and they needed to win by 9.5. The over-under of 58.5 was over. So you'll notice a theme on today's show when you hear over, because there are tons of overs in college football, including this first one. You ready with that beautiful bean footage?
It is. Just hit your...
Hit my...
Nope, the other one.
This one?
Yeah. Nope.
Nope, not that one. How about the first one I was going to hit?
No, go back to the other one. Hang on.
Hey, Georgia Tech.
There you go. Stupid graphics.
You never know what you get.
No. Well, we got the new
every episode.
We got the new thing here with the 2-screen split screen.
Yeah, we're trying to make the show more appealing, and someday it will come. I guarantee you. Go ahead, and if you will, subscribe.
Yeah,
all the latest stuff coming out.
You get to see our evolution.
You do.
Right before your eyes.
Go back to July and then come back and complain about what just happened.
That's right.
Complaining, Georgia. Well, here they go again.
All right.
We both took Georgia Tech. A lot of points. Georgia tends not to blow anybody out, and sure enough, it happened in style that Saturday's 37-14 there. The over of 48.5 materialized there. I thought that was way under, and it turned out we needed every last point almost to get to the over.
Yeah, we both thought that was a lot of points, but we got at least one pick for you.
Yeah, so now you got Georgia going to face LSU in the championship game for the SEC coming up on Saturday.
Ooh, doggy.
Matter of fact, we'll bring it up as we go. That game's scheduled for 4 o'clock Central Time, I think it is, on Saturday, December 3rd. So we'll have your pick for that one. Michigan and Ohio State. I got to admit, this one did not go as planned or anywhere close to where I thought it might go. Now, I didn't know that Michigan was going to necessarily lose the game, but if they won, I thought it was going to be a tight contest. They ended up rolling out late and basically doubling up Ohio State, 45-23. Ohio State 8.5-point favorites.
Yeah, Michigan almost had that the over-under by themselves.
They did, and this is Ryan Day's second straight loss to Minnesota when it matters most. So you get a in the biggest game.
I'm shocked you haven't made that a soundbite yet.
Now they are actually complaining about how they should still be in the college football playoff regardless. They need a lot of things to happen here. Michigan will face Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. Is somebody grinding the floor out behind us?
Yeah.
That's great.
Don't mind that grinding noise. That's not us.
That's not us.
We're grinding these picks out for you. You can hear it.
Yeah, no heads on that graphic. They will be playing Purdue, though, so they should win that game in Indianapolis. That'll be a late game. That'll be a 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern contest on Saturday.
Yeah, no heads mean and no winners for us.
No. Now the next South Carolina and Clemson.
There you go.
Looky there, 14.5. I'd have to go back and look at that beautiful bean footage, but I thought I might have said that I could see an upset special here. South Carolina could win this game.
Let me take a look. No.
Anyway, we both took the points, and that covered 30-31 because South Carolina just flat out win. So it could have been 0, and they would have won there. Again, another over at 52.5, so that goes sailing over at 61. Clemson now, when you're talking ACC championship games.
Yeah, where'd they drop?
Let's take a look at that beautiful bean footage because I know they dropped quite a ways down. Clemson will still play at North Carolina on December 3rd for the ACC championship game, believe it or not.
Wow.
So somehow they still snuck in the back door. Louisville at Kentucky. Now, Kentucky decided to play today.
Yeah.
I don't know, or Saturday. I don't know why. Yeah. And Louisville decided not to play.
Well, Louisville's barely in our talking points.
Yeah, I know. They were 25th, barely ranked in there last year. So Kentucky covers the 2.5. That was the first favorite to actually win out of the weekend games. And it was the first under 42.5. So they did a lot of first at Kentucky there. That moves them both to 7-5. I'm sure we'll see them in the marginalized bowls in December.
Marginalized mean, is that just proper term for toilet?
That means that they'll play in some obscure Bahamas Bowl or they might get to something that has a name you recognize.
All right.
All right, Auburn at Alabama. There's
one head.
Marcellus.
Yeah.
You won by a stinky half point.
The hook got you.
The hook got me. It was 22.5. Alabama was favored by. They won by 22. It did go sailing over, though. Alabama pretty much had that by themselves.
Yeah, I thought Alabama would win, just not by that big of a margin.
Yeah,
I need every bit of
it. You need every bit of it. That's where the hook saved you. And kills.
Yeah.
So, die by the hook, survive by the hook.
That's right.
Oregon, they died just flat out.
There you go.
There's my face over there. Oregon State wins 38-34 outright. Oregon was favored, actually, on the road in this one, and Corvallis over 57.5 easily here.
Yeah.
And taking a look
I thought Oregon was going to win it because they're ranked and Oregon State's not.
Yeah, so USC will face Utah in the Pac-12 championship game. That'll be Friday, so they'll be the first one to basically kick off the Power 5 championship game.
Is that a later Friday game?
That is 8 p.m.
Okay,
Eastern,
good.
7
so
Central. Yep.
The folks here on the YouTube and podcast will be able to hear what we select for that game.
You got it.
All
Early
right.
indications will be?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got to do more studying.
Yeah, neither one's undefeated anymore,
Hey.
so you can't use that trick.
Hang on, let me get some studying done.
There you go. Speaking of studying,
All right.
didn't need any studying for this one. TCU slaps Iowa State pretty
Yeah.
hard, 62
Look
to
at that.
14.
Is that did you play this on Madden? Is that where
They
the
did.
score came from?
That's crazy. Over-under was 47.5, so TCU had that and some and covered easily that 10.5 points.
That was a no-brainer for both of us.
Yep. Iowa State gets a
All right. Let's go. Oh, there we go. How about this one?
Michigan State and Penn State, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
took Michigan State once
Yeah.
again.
Points too many.
The half saves them. 35 to 16. Penn State was 19.5 point favorite, so Marcellus covers once again by a half a point.
Moneyline Mark, hook master.
He's the hook master, yeah. That's true. The over-under was just under 2, so you did both things. It was 51, so you got it by 1.5 there. But either way you go, you had to sweat either side if you were playing it either way. Other than that, it wasn't really a great game.
No.
All right, next up on the list, we talked about Utah, the
Wow.
ultimate Dookie team,
Yeah.
Colorado.
You said Colorado was just horrible.
Oh, and you took them anyway.
I did because I thought points too much.
29.5 is what they laid down. 30, they could have laid 40 and still covered
That-
as it turned out.
That is nuts.
63 to 21, so the over was handled by Utah by itself. I'm actually shocked Colorado scored 21 points. Colorado,
When did they score those 21? Fourth quarter?
I don't know. I didn't even look. They
probably-
scored 21. So they
Utah
finished-
probably put their third string out there. Come on, freshmen, let's go.
I know. They probably let Colorado borrow their third string. 11 or 1-11 on the season. That is an ultimate.
That's about where I thought Nebraska would be.
Well, not far off. Notice I'm not wearing a Hawkeye hat today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, LSU. Here's one that, man, I could see Texas A&M being up for this game, but I didn't see them flat out winning it and especially by 15. LSU was almost a 10-point favorite on the road. That was probably a little bit of a trap. Over/under went over that 47.5. Most of it was Texas A&M, so that's a couple of shockers. So Texas A&M wins the Who Gives a Bowl, and beats LSU. Oddly enough, though, LSU, even if they were looking ahead, they backdoor their way into the SEC championship game against Georgia.
Wow.
So they didn't end up needing to win that game after all. How about that?
I guess not needing, but at least wouldn't you want
Can't
to?
be feeling good about going
Hey,
into
we're
it.
going in here with a loss.
Yeah, against the number one team in the country.
Good luck.
Setup game. SEC championship game is going to be Saturday at 3 Central, 4 Eastern. So
All right.
You'll get that free pick as well.
Yeah.
All right. Notre Dame. Well,
What?
USC ended up covering it.
Let's
It
say
was
Notre Dame. Did I skip one?
Oh, did I? I skipped one. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Oh, sorry. Dookie alert. Yep.
Yeah.
UCF, 19.5 point favorites. Are you meaning I took South Florida?
You took South Florida.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that beautiful bean footage.
You can roll that, throw that, what's that penalty flag they called?
I took UCF.
Let's take a look on this. Let's take a look at the stat sheet here. Where the hell are they?
I see the M and the S next to UCF.
There you go.
They ended up winning, but they only won by a touchdown. 46-39. The over goes sailing over easily 95 or 85 points scored. Sorry, in that game.
Wow.
UCF did not come close to doing almost 3 touchdown favorite there. UCF does play in the AAC championship game against Tulane on Saturday, also at 3 o'clock. For what it's worth, we'll give you the pick in that one. Tulane. I don't even care what the point spread is.
Oh my
after that
gosh!
one.
Wow.
Well, I do care. But I can't imagine it's going to be like 30 or some crap. Now we get to Notre Dame.
Say, I'll hold you to it.
No, sir.
Not going to be able to do it.
Nice.
All right. Notre Dame at USC. USC, a good game overall. They pull away late with a late score, 38-27. That means USC did cover it. Mark took USC all day long.
I told you.
64.5 was the over, and it just got over.
I told you. Anytime I try to pick Notre Dame, they screw me.
Well,
Either way.
I got a taste of what you've been dealing with all year because I took Notre Dame in the points.
There you go.
I thought it was going to be a field goal game. I thought USC had a chance of winning it, but I had to watch it almost to the end. It was a good game. Notre Dame ranked 15th. They fall down a little bit, not much. USC now is going to face Utah in the Pac-12 championship game, and they're right now, I believe, in our rankings, number 4. So they're in the college football playoff as it stands right now. A lot riding on the line Saturday for USC.
Huh.
They're not going to be able to lose and still get in. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Good Lord, Vanderbilt. Really?
And you took Vanderbilt because I talked you into it.
You did? Backup quarterback. Vanderbilt beat Kentucky on the road. They beat Florida on the road. And I thought with all that going on, and Tennessee's let everybody score 30 on them.
Well,
Tennessee's defense let everybody.
Tennessee played West Memphis Junior High, a.k.a. Vanderbilt.
I guess. You couldn't even score a damn point. Vanderbilt, really? This is supposed to be a big game to get up for. You lay a 0. And not only that, you let 56 get scored on you by a backup QB. Brutal. Now, if you were hoping on the over, it went under because Vanderbilt couldn't score a damn point for you. 56. Tennessee did their part. Tennessee ain't really in a – they're just waiting for a bowl game. They'll probably get a nice bowl game on New Year's Day. Kansas State. Another game? Well,
yeah,
I finally get one. Normally, like Notre Dame is your kryptonite, Kansas State has been mine. I pick them, they don't cover. I don't pick them, they win.
Yeah, I purposely went against you because you've been struggling with Kansas State.
I know, and that was usually a good play all year. This week, though, not so much. All right, they cover that 10.5, but guess the over-under of 61.5 also went over. Kansas, still finishes 6-6, so they're bowl eligible for the first time in a long time. So they'll probably be pretty excited. Rumor has it they may be down here at the Liberty Bowl.
Oh.
How about that?
Okay.
So not that I'm in a big hurry to go see Kansas football, but for those that haven't been down here for a while from the state of Kansas,
it's warmer.
We're right in the neighborhood.
And it's warmer.
And it's warmer, usually, than Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the last game on the slate that were ranked anyway, 13 Washington handled business at Washington State.
That's right.
We both took Washington at 1.5. We could have gave almost 20 and still covered this bad boy. 60.5 was over almost by Washington by themselves. So Washington now looking good. They moved up quite a bit in the rankings. They're now to 9th. But they do miss out on the USC side. So USC gets to represent them in the Pac-12. But
we do have one more game.
We do have one more game. Final time this year. The Dookie alerts of Nebraska.
Let me go find the Dookie emoji.
Yeah. So they
hang on a second, because you know that Dookie emoji is going to have to move to the other side.
Oh, jeez. Iowa not only didn't cover the 10.5, which was a big spread to do anyway, and I went back and actually watched that portion of the program and how much I was struggling with it because Iowa has a hard time scoring 10 points offensively.
Yes.
And boy, it was 24-0 at one point in the game. Iowa had it at 24-17 and had 2 chances in the last 4 minutes to tie that game up. Nebraska just about did the ultimate all over themselves after a big win, but nope, they held on because, once again, Iowa has no quarterback play and their offense sucks.
Well, I can say this. I thought those points were too much. I didn't think Nebraska was going to win outright, so I made no wager about not using the poop emoji for next year.
And now, so get this scene in Lincoln and most of Nebraska, Mark. Not only do they win the bowl,
tell me
because they're not going to another bowl.
Okay,
they're 4-8, so no shot.
That's 3 more games I thought they'd win.
Iowa will go to a bowl, but that's probably what's going to happen. And Nebraska hired Matt Rule to an 8-year contract, former Baylor coach, and then he was at Carolina for 3.5 years and ended up getting canned there. Mm-hmm. So now they're all pumped up, kind of like Scott Frost, but on a different level now. So Nebraska will be national champions in 3 years.
I can't wait to do the picks for next year's. Want me to go ahead and make an early prediction on Nebraska for next year?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Without even knowing their schedule, what do you give them next year?
I don't need to know their schedule.
Okay.
At best, 500. At best.
They're going to be an odds boost on Nebraska. At best being 500.
At best, yeah, that's right. Because, I mean, they
get on it.
They shocked the heck out of me by winning 3 more games because I'm pretty sure I only predicted they'd win 1 game. But
I think you gave them 3 at one point.
Did
One
I?
of them was Georgia Southern, which they ended up getting beat by. Well, we can look back at that beautiful beat footage and find out, or at least listen to it. I can't remember if we were on the air back then.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember because that was back when we were struggling just to get this going.
Yeah, we were starving.
Yeah,
co-hosts.
That's right. We had 0 followers.
The only followers is not even my mom. All right, NFL action. Are you ready for that, or we got anything that goes in between it, like maybe that $250 thing? Or are we doing it?
No, we'll roll right into this, and we can do the promo after.
All right, we got you. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. Well, they went to Cleveland. They had an early lead. They lost that early lead, and then they lost in overtime to the Cleveland Browns by a touchdown, basically. They didn't have to kick the extra point. So Tampa Bay did not cover as a favorite. Cleveland ended up winning outright in the under of 42.5 materialized, and you saw 0 heads on that screen.
You get almost every week which Tampa team's going to play.
I don't even get it. Yeah.
I mean, I think statistically you could be better off just betting against them. You might lose once every great while, but
if they win, they don't seem to cover.
Right.
They fall to 5-6 now. So
we'll have to look that up. Remember, we used to have a website we could go to look up what they are against the spread.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up later.
Yeah. All
right. We good?
There's one. I'm real good.
Cincinnati Bengals. They hard-fought game 20-16, so it was under. Cincinnati does cover the 2.5. I rolled with the Titans as long as they were hot, and it came to an end yesterday, but not in embarrassing fashion.
No. Cincy just has too many offensive weapons against Tennessee. Tennessee has one offensive weapon.
Yeah, and they pretty much held them in check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside a big, long pass play, which Derrick Henry ended up fumbling into the end zone, and then luckily Tennessee falls on it anyway.
Yeah.
And then they missed the extra point, I think. So, yeah, so much for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's a win.
Speaking of not winning or a win, Houston, I meant. That's where they came from. Houston Oilers went to Tennessee, became the Titans, and then Houston became the Texans. How about that?
That's going way back.
Miami Dolphins
showing your age.
30-0 at halftime, and then they didn't score another point, and Houston lapped on 15 points at the end. Still did not. Ended up backdoor covering there. So Miami ends up covering that 13.5. It went under the 46.5, which everybody thought was going to be easy, and they had to sneak that one in at the end.
How about Houston with only one win this season so far?
And then we're going to bench David Mills for this Kyle Allen. Ooh, that did not look. I mean, there was a difference in not looking good and looking.
Yes.
And that's what they looked like yesterday.
That was a free pick right there for all you diehard fans that were struggling with it.
Yeah, free pick. The Bears. Speaking of Justin Fields sits.
I tell you what, Jets are really turning this season around from what they started at. They started at just as I thought they would end. Crappy.
Well, I mean, it was interesting. They had a crappy section. Remember, they beat Cleveland right off the bat. I think they went 3-0 or 4-1, and then all of a sudden they started losing games and looking like the Jets.
I don't remember that.
They lost
I must have slept since then.
You must have slept since then. But then it took them a little bit, but they finally wore out the Bears 31-10, so they easily covered a 5.5, and it was over that 38.5 almost by the Jets themselves. So one head on the side. I primarily did it because of the defense of the Jets and knowing that Chicago was going to their second or their third backup quarterback.
And I criticized the Jets for not having a defense in the beginning with the chant of JETS, no defense.
Yeah.
But you don't hear that coming out of my mouth anymore.
No. Do you even hear the stuff about drinking your own pee?
Yeah, I still hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we heard it this weekend.
It wasn't this weekend because they were in Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway, the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they're still sitting at home chanting it.
Against the Washington Commanders. I cannot call them the Commodes if they're 500 or above. And they won another one. 19-13. Atlanta had basically 5 or 6 cracks to score a touchdown late and then ended up throwing a pick.
They did Atlanta things. Ain't that right, Steven?
They did Atlanta things on the road. Good news for Atlanta, even though that drops them to 5-7, they're still just one game out of the division lead.
I can't believe that.
For a playoff spot. Washington does improve to 7-5 for all those keeping track at home. It was an easy under.
That put them third in the division? Washington?
Washington is actually 4th in the division.
Oh.
You have Philly at 10-1, Dallas at 8-3.
Oh, that's right, the Giants.
Giants at 8-3, and then these guys at 7-5.
I forgot Giants.
Matter of fact, it has happened in the NFL before, but if things stay like you think it might, and there'll be some changes because divisional games will take this into account, but all the teams in one division going into the playoffs has happened twice in the last 38 years. So it doesn't happen often. You can get 3 teams out of the 4, but all 4 teams going to the playoffs, very, very rare.
I'm going to need you to look that up for Friday's show.
Okay.
Tell us the percentage.
I'll get you that.
Okay.
You make me a reminder.
Here we go, talking about drinking some pee.
Denver goes, laid another one on the road to Carolina, and Sam Darnold. He came back from the dead and led the Carolina Panthers to a 23-10 victory. Denver somehow was favored by 2.5. I think that'll be the last time Denver's favored all year.
I remember we both struggled with this game because
did.
that emoji was, hang on, I can find that emoji again because I can put it right where it belongs, huh?
There or the other side.
No.
Can you do both?
Right, yeah, I can, right here.
Right here. Yeah. That was a brutal game.
That's where it was Friday, too.
Sorry if anybody had to watch that.
Yeah.
Carolina goes to 4-8. Denver slides to 3-8.
I wouldn't have bet this game if I had to. Get that?
Did we take Denver?
We took Denver.
No, we did.
Yes, we did.
Oh, my God. We should be decertified for that move.
We were drinking something.
Well,
We tried to hop on the Denver bandwagon. Let the bad taste in our mouth.
Dookies versus the Sharks. I guess you have to pick one of them. All right. Baltimore Ravens. Now, this was ballsy. Jacksonville made a massive comeback at the end of that game.
Jeez.
Decided we're going to go for 2 to flat out try to win this thing, and they get it and defeat Baltimore 28-27. So Baltimore did not get the 3.5 spread there, obviously, and it went over the 44.5. Nice scoring game in there, but Baltimore is 7-4 now, still leading their division. Jacksonville at 4-7. Mark.
Yeah, I don't understand how Baltimore lost, but I guess Jacksonville's at home. But there's not a big home crowd in Jacksonville when they got to cover seats to.
Yeah, in the upper bowl section or whatever. And here's the crazy part. Like, once again, they kept saying their defense is getting healthier, but there is a systemic problem in Baltimore about their defense giving up late leads. Like,
is it the defense or the defensive coordinator?
I mean, guys got to tackle and cover, but I think some of it's probably the defenses that are being called. Yeah. I mean, you just find it not only in college football, but primarily in the pros. How much the last 7 or 6 minutes defense doesn't seem to matter in games. Like, all of a sudden, magically, offenses can move the ball, like, at will.
Well, we talked about it before on some of the other teams that play. They want to drop back into that prevent, just letting that dink pass go all the way down the field. It's like the other defenses were working for you. Then you change it up. And it's not working. And instead of stopping it, you stop it when they get into the red zone. Well, yeah, because you can't do a prevent in the red zone. Not enough room.
Not enough room. And that was the end of the early slate. Another one, we just talked about it, the Chargers versus the Cardinals. This was a good game as well. Chargers did the same thing, scored a late touchdown, decided to go for 2, and got it to win 25-24. Saves the Chargers season. They're 6-5, so even though they're well behind the Chiefs at this point, playoff possibilities exist. In Arizona, they're pretty much done. Now,
take a look at that graphic. That was brought to you free because I wrote this down. 70% of America was betting the Chargers.
They were.
Should have followed the odds, brothers. That's what I'm talking about.
We won't mention the Denver game.
Yeah, okay, or the Ravens.
Or the Ravens game. But we will mention this.
Yes.
Arizona covers at 3.5. That's all you need to know.
Whew.
Oh, and it went over for those overtime or over players. Raiders. Now, this was the funny part.
We won't talk about this one.
The Raiders beat the Seahawks in overtime, 40-34.
Yep.
And we just happened to be last night indulging in a little bit of Mexico food, and a guy behind us was watching the game on his phone. And evidently that's when Josh Jacobs ripped off that 86-yard run in overtime to allow the Raiders to win, and all we heard was basically, in paraphrasing here,
yeah, you better.
Yeah, suck it, Seahawks.
You better paraphrase that.
Yeah, I got to, even though we're on cable. We're on cable, but we're also on Kyle, so he probably, you can't say that on YouTube.
Come on, Kyle.
This is adult show, Kyle. Oh, goodness. But anyway, the Raiders still have a heartbeat at 4-7 here, winning a couple in a row. Seahawks better watch out because now that division that looked pretty much sewed up, they're in trouble now with the San Francisco 49ers right behind them.
Yeah, San Francisco's improving. I really thought Seattle was going to win this game, being at home, being that 12th man, but it didn't seem to faze the Raiders whatsoever.
No.
Because I'm sure the crowd was loud, although I didn't watch the game.
Now, here's the one you had to sweat out if you bet the Chiefs and thought this was easy. Oh.
I did. I was watching that game all right next to you.
15.5 points. It was the biggest spread of the entire weekend. And they barely got over that mark, 26-10. Kansas City ends up improving the 9-2. It went under here, which a lot of people did. They started pounding the under late, thinking that the third-string QB, what was his name, Perkins?
Yep, Perkins.
Ugh.
I was shocked you took Kansas City because of the point spread. Usually you don't like taking the team.
I usually don't, but boy, that
double
third-string
digits.
quarterback, I just thought at Arrowhead. And to be honest with you, I actually thought this was going to be more like a 35-10 game. And you had to sit there and sweat it out.
Yes.
All the way to the end, till the final interception.
Yep. Thank God.
Now, this is the one that kind of surprised me, even though I took the 49ers, and so did the man.
Yeah, I did.
But it was 13-0. That's all. 13. It was 9.5-point spread, so I guess you barely covered us. 43.5 was under by a mile, but the Saints not only scoring 0, and they had pretty much their full complement of normal players out there, Olave, Kamara. Yeah, that was just not score any points.
Well, actually, I think I put the emoji right here once. There we go.
The New Orleans
Dookie.
And then the 49ers could only muster 13 points. Now, interesting stuff, though. Elijah Moore looks like he's out with an injury again. McCaffrey looked like he was dinged up.
Yeah, they got some damage.
They got a little bit of damage going on there. But San Francisco now they're at 7-4 and lead the division over the Seahawks, actually, at this point.
Well, I'm still not a Jimmy fan, but over to New Orleans this year, had to take them.
Yeah. No, I know. We'll wait and see. I don't know what. Oh, their next game. I think I've read this somewhere. 49ers and Miami Dolphins. That ought to be a good one.
Well, at Miami?
No, I think it's at San Fran, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
It won't matter for my picks.
And why did you ask?
Well, it won't matter more on the picks with the spread. How's that?
All right, there you go.
All right.
Green Bay Packers, they gave a yeoman's effort and actually cost this guy here by half a point in a pick-six league I'm in $100 because that would have made 6 out of 6 if they would have stayed just within 6.5, and instead it was 7. Yep, and they decided not to go for it on 4th and 4. Late, they kicked the field goal, and then they went for the improbable onside kick, which even if you do that, now you got to score a touchdown anyway.
What happened if I pick them and they lose? If I lose, I win.
Well, Philadelphia didn't win. Or they won, and I lost.
Yeah, but you were supposed to pick Philadelphia, so that way if Philadelphia lost, then you still win.
Where's my head at?
You didn't pick Philadelphia.
You sure?
I'm positive. You picked
Even
the Packers.
I thought I had them at plus 7.5.
Yeah.
Man, all right. Well, anyway, it went over 46.
Not going to be able to do it.
It went over 46.5 pretty easily.
Getting that fight song ready?
77, yeah. No, that's only the Dallas game. Not if they win the division. Not if they go to the playoffs.
I'm going to have to put that in the sound bites on my thing here.
Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers, I almost said Jones. He plays on the same team. But Aaron Rodgers might have a major injury.
He's on TV right now.
They may shut him down the rest of the year, but he did not look good when he got crushed in the ribs, basically. But he was kind of torching the Eagles early.
He's got a major injury, but it's not his ribs.
So if you're Philadelphia and you just made a move to sign 2 defensive guys to stop the run, but you're still allowing teams to score a bunch of points on you, especially the Packers, I don't know if you're as lock chalked for the Super Bowl as you think you are.
That's only week 2 for them, though, for those 2 players, right? Or is that the – yeah.
Well, the run stoppers is what they got on the defensive line, supposedly run stoppers.
Yeah, with Sue and – who's the other one? Sue's probably the best player to come out of Nebraska in a long time.
Yeah, probably,
But,
especially defensively.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And we got 1 game left.
All right.
Are we changing our picks?
What?
I'm just asking you.
No.
Now that we've had a weekend to look at it.
No, that's why I put the heads up there. You chose Steelers. I chose the Colts.
I'm just asking. Just like when I told you the news about the Jets and the Bears quarterback, you still decided to take the Bears. So I'm giving you a shot here.
I went with instinct, and it was wrong.
All right, they're 2.5. I think it's still 2.5 on the line. I don't see much of a movement. As of yesterday, it was still 2.5 anyway. Over/under kind of low at 38.5. Be interesting. There should be a lot of running this game, so I kind of do like the under in the game, to be blunt. But I still think the Steelers can stay within that 2.5, maybe flat out win the game potentially. So we'll see.
I do have the Thursday game. Ready for the Thursday game?
Let's go for the Thursday game.
There you go.
Buffalo Bills at the Patriots. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So they got Buffalo at, what, 4.5? And 44.5?
Yep.
Ooh, initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts, and you can make your pick there.
So New England's defense, special teams, everything looked like a wreck at Minnesota last week on Thanksgiving night. That was kind of un-New England of them. Buffalo, though, they aren't fazed much by New England's presence, but I think they slow them down. That 4.5 number, I thought actually was probably going to be a little more than that. So my initial thought is, offensively, I think they do a little better than the Patriots. I think Buffalo covers 44.5. Give me the over.
So you're taking New England and the under.
No, I'm taking Bills minus 4.5 and over.
That's exactly what I'm taking. I'm taking
it?
the Bills and the over, because I think this is going to be a shootout, so to speak. But I think Buffalo pulls it out by a touchdown. Not going to walk away with it. Bill's not going to allow that.
Shoot. No, they barely walked away with it at Detroit last week.
Yeah.
But every week we move on. Hopefully we're a little better with his elbow. I still think that's probably impacting him. But the one thing that New England's had trouble with is scrambling quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Which Josh Allen tends to be. So pocket quarterbacks, they kind of own them a little bit. But the scrambling ones, they have some trouble with.
All right.
And that is your NFL for most of Week 12 and beginning of Week 13.
That's right.
You got any want to do the pick six, or what do you want to do next?
Let's go into this.
All
How
right.
about a promo? We're going to give away some of Nick's money.
Again.
That's what this promo should be. Should be give away Nick's money. You know how like Fox has Bradshaw's?
Yeah.
Give away Nick's money. Nick's walk around with a suitcase.
Win $500 of Nick's money.
That's right. How do you do it? You get $250 here in Arkansas by signing up and being a first-time bettor. You got to be a first-time bettor. If you've already made that bet and lost, well, you can't keep getting a $250. He likes to give out money, but not that much.
Not like that. He's Saint Nick, but not that saint.
That's right. So you bet up to $250. Your odds must be minus $250 or greater. And if your ticket settles as a loss, you will get up to $250 back in a free bet. You can do that here for $250. Slip and slide on over to Tennessee. Sign up on that app. Do it again.
Right. Bass Pro Parking Lot. Plenty of spaces.
That's right. Make sure you check the details on the app for all of the promotions.
Yes, and you will need a separate account for both states. So they aren't the same account. That's why you can get Nick's money twice.
That's right. Nick's like, here, have it, guys. I don't care.
We don't care.
I love it.
Unlimited budget of the 70 of the 20. 7% of the 20% of the stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever that
I don't know.
works out to be. All right.
What
What
are we
else
going
you
to
got?
here? Well, we can go to our locks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Since I
locks.
accidentally got that up, so whoops.
Last lock of the week, I had the New York Jets as my lock, which they did come in. So I'm 17 of 23 on my best bets of the week.
I had Seattle.
And
Yeah, so
12 of 23.
12 of 23. So
Still above that Mendoza line of 50%.
yeah, let's get that off. I don't know how
Don't want
this
to
is
see that too much, huh?
Let's see how this is going to look. All right, so let's pull up our. Let's start with you.
All right, our pick six.
Maybe. I don't even know where it's going to throw it.
That's all right.
Oh no, I can move it.
Oh, well, great.
Ready?
I'll move it.
I'll move it. I'll put it.
But as you can see, I had a pretty good day overall.
No,
I had the Miami Dolphins minus 13.5. They had that at the end of the first quarter.
I look like one of the high risers.
The Jets minus 5.5. That was my lock. That got me 2 points. The Ravens.
Nice.
Good Lord, Ravens. I wouldn't have even had it if they lost a 2-point conversion at the end, but it looked good for a minute. Cardinals plus 3.5. Got that as a point. Seahawks, yeah. Thank you very much. And the 49ers did come in for 1 point, so that's 5.
5 points.
total.
Good job.
That's not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
Keep hitting those locks. That helps.
That was really nice.
All right, and then
There we go.
you're on your normal average there, or new average. It was 2, now it's
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, woo. But I had to notice well, I guess it wasn't the last point, but really was the Chiefs
Yeah.
just to get me to the 3.
Philly was the night game.
Yeah.
And they looked like they were going to choke it up for you for a minute. So, yeah, Washington, KC, and Philly get you your 3.
Yeah.
Missed out on Baltimore, Seattle, which was your lock, and then Chicago.
Yes.
That's
Darn
pick
it.
6. Let's see what the average Joes did.
Hang on, yeah, let's. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were too scared.
How about the high risers?
Yes.
No food for you, Tiger.
Yeah, go ahead
And then the scene went black.
There you go. Oh, I'm trying to find the Trying to find this one. All right, there you go.
You ready?
Yeah, you can pull that up. It's going to overlay, but whatever.
All right, that's fine. There's our stats throughout our Pick 6 contest so far. Picks out of the week, you saw that. Our best bet, 17 for me, 12 for Moneyline. Mark there. The points there on the total.
Look at the pick percentage for you, 74%. That's correct.
That is correct.
The next two aren't.
We're just putting it in there right now until we go back and look.
Yeah.
And our best scores?
The bottom twos are. Yep, still
fives.
5.
And then in food that we've given out to either the Average Joes or the high risers to this point, 75 because they beat me and 125 because they beat Mark.
Yeah. I did find out from the Average Joe that was supposed to be on the show. He'll be on the show this Friday. That it was tryptophan that got him.
Yes. Ate so much turkey.
He did.
I never sleep this late.
Yeah, the turkey got him.
He woke up at like 12:30.
Yes. What's the other graphic you wanted me to pull up? Was the
do we got top 25?
We do. I just got to find it. That's the one that eludes me from time to time. Is it
right.
this one? Let's see. See if it's this one. Nope, not that one.
Not that one.
All
right.
Don't go to it yet because I don't know where I'm going here. I got to find it. I just got to find where I put it.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we are going to go over some quick NBA action and a couple of the top 25 men's college basketball hoop action for today. Plenty of other games going on, but take us forever to go through them. While you're looking for that, since we'll start on NCAA, Texas Southern at 1-6 is at number 3 Kansas tonight. Up in Leavenworth, Kansas. 6-1 on the year for Kansas. Kansas 23.5-point favorites here. The over-under is 139.5. To me, this smells like Kansas should dump truck them by 30 to 35 points. So I'll go ahead and lay 23.5 in Kansas in this one. The over and under, I don't know that Texas scores a bunch, but I'm going to give it a shot here with Kansas. I think it's going to be like an 80 to 55 game, so I think this goes barely over at 145, something along that method. And then you got Troy, not the guy, but the team, 6-1 at number 9 Arkansas. So woo pig suey, folks, if you're living close here. 6-1. Arkansas 17.5-point favorites at home. The over-under, once again, at 139.5. Arkansas tends to score in bunches. I'm not 100% sure about Troy at this point.
I think you got those top 25 ready when you're done with that. So,
all right. I guess Arkansas
over Troy,
but by 17.5. That's the thing. Troy's 6-1 on the year. They've been playing decent, even though the competition is not much. I'll give it a small shot and take Troy plus the points here, and I think you're going to sweat this one out. The over-under, this is another one I like over on. So
I would go with Troy.
Over. Troy, and then on the Kansas game, minus 23.5 over Texas Southern, who's 1-6.
Yeah, I'd take Kansas.
I didn't think you'd need much thinking about that.
No.
All right, there you are for the last shot of the NCAA 25 rankings there in college football. Georgia still number 1. Michigan moves to 2. TCU moves to 3. And USC bounce out Ohio State for 4th place right now. So in theory, all 4 of them winning their championship games this weekend. That'll be your college football playoff. One of them loses.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's going to be a battle for Ohio State to get back in it. I think you would have to have 2 of them lose, and obviously you'd have the Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State argument, and they always love SEC schools in championship games, so Alabama being ranked 6th at this point after drubbing Auburn there, probably going to get in if 2 lose. But
I can't believe Alabama was going to get in.
I just don't see TCU losing to Kansas State, although I think that'll be a good game, so it's possible. USC could lose to Utah. I could see that definitely happening. Michigan not losing to Purdue. And Georgia, I'm going to guess not losing to LSU. A good game, but
yeah,
LSU,
it'll be tougher when we make our picks because we got to put the points involved with that. So.
Yes. Just flat out your money line. That's your style.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, going on down.
Oh wait.
No, that's fine.
All right. You want to flip over to 17, or are you going down the top?
I was just going to say, you look down there, and the one that I found funny was Oregon still ranked above Oregon State, even though Oregon State beat them heads up. Outside of that, Florida State moves up a couple of spots. Kansas State moves up, and LSU drops down quite a bit. So did Clemson. All right, back half of the top 25 rankings. You got UCLA falling quite a ways down to 17. Tulane moves up to 18. Notre Dame, they drop down quite a bit too. And then the interesting one on there, sort of, well, two of them, UT San Antonio, which another good season record-wise. They moved into the top 25 at 23, and then you got Nebraska after that huge win.
Yeah,
Iowa.
but UT San Antonio 10-2 must mean if they're that low, how strong was their schedule?
Not much.
All right.
I mean, they
played Nebraska 9 times?
No. No, I was going to say they were 10, so yeah, maybe, but no, they didn't.
And then Nebraska fans are just loving that they made it out of the 80s.
Yeah.
According to social media, you would have thought they just won a bowl game.
Oh, my goodness. And they got Matt Rule. Look out. Look out.
Yeah.
It's like Scott Frost. There's a frost warning. All right.
All right.
You got that out?
Yep, that's gone.
All right. So, without any further ado, you ready for some NBA real quick before we head out the door?
Yeah.
We got a Monday night promo. Isn't it like a 30% odds boost or profit boost on parlays? Or
We do. I don't think I have that graphic,
That's
though.
okay.
No, yeah.
There is a boost. Check your app.
Yeah, definitely check your app. They do have 30% power boost or 35% power boost on Monday Night Football. Actually, I could go to it right now and take a look-see. 35% pre-match NFL profit boost.
Oh, okay.
So the maximum you can bet is 50, minimum's 10, and the net winnings you can do is maximum winnings is $1,000. So you got odds must be minus 250 or greater.
Okay.
On that. So they have those every Monday night. So if we don't talk about it, just check your app for all the power boosts because they got power boosts on NBA tonight on one of the games. What was the one I was telling you about? Oh, and then there's a power boost on player prop NFL.
Okay.
So if you want to make some little extra dough,
on the
check those power
Najee
boosts.
Harris and Jonathan Taylor both scoring an anytime touchdown has been boosted up.
That's right. Those are pre-match power boosts as well. So
Good deal.
can't be sitting there waiting in live. You ain't going to hang on.
Not gonna be able to do it.
There you go.
Not going to be able to do it. All right. NBA action tonight. Atlanta Hawks 11-9 at the 76ers tonight, also 11-9. The Atlanta Hawks are actually a 1.5 favorites on the road here, 220.5 the over/under.
They're playing at 76ers, huh?
Yeah, the last 10, 4-6 for the Hawks, and the Sixers are hot at this point at 7-3.
I would go with the Sixers because they're at home.
Yes.
They're pretty well matched, but I'm going to go with them being at home. If it was the other way around, I'd probably take the Hawks. But
Yeah, whoever was at home with this point spread,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'll take 76ers and get that 1.5, even though usually in the NBA they're not that close. It's
Yeah.
usually at least 2 or 3 points minimum on the margins of victory here. Minnesota, they're playing Washington, both of them 10-10 on the season. Washington is at home and 1.5 point favorites there, 226.5 is the line. Washington in their last 10 are 6-4. Their home record is 7-4. And over there, this is kind of an East versus West here for your Minnesota Timberwolves. What do you got here? They're 5-5 in their last 10, and on the road, they are 5-4. Interesting thought here. I'm going to go ahead and take the home team once again. Just basically win straight up with a 1.5 difference.
I'll take the home team, but I'm going to go over on those points. You said 226.5?
226.5, yeah.
Yep, I'll go over.
Yeah, that seems pretty solid, basically on what they're averaging here. Minnesota's averaging 114 per game, while the Washington Wizards, actually, let's take a look at them, is 109. So that's 223.
Like they knew what they were doing when they made those
Almost,
points.
but I still like the over.
Yeah, me too.
Charlotte Hornets at 6-14 are on the road to the best team in the land there. I guess it's a battle between them and Milwaukee at this point. They are 16-4, so Boston's 10.5 point favorites at home here, Mark. 225.5 the over-under.
Boston. 10.
Yeah, Charlotte is 3-7 in the last 10. On the road, they are 3-8.
I'll take Boston.
Yeah, I would too. Just to give you an idea here, Boston, are they even beat? Yeah, they lost one game at home. They're 7-3 away and 9-1 in the last 10. They're averaging 120 points a game. Good Lord.
Going over on those points?
Well, 225. So if you take the 120, we got to hope for them to score 105, huh?
I don't know if they score 105.
I don't think so. I think I take the under here in that game.
I'll be different. I'll go over for you.
All right. Orlando Magic 5-16. Boy, they keep getting numbered. They're like the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. The Nets 10-11, so they've made some headway here lately. What is this spread here? Brooklyn 9.5 at home, 224.5 is the over-under. Just giving you some quick stats here. 6-4 for Brooklyn in the last 10. They are 5-4 at home, so far away from a home dominant team. But keep in mind, Kyrie Irving has been suspended for a lot of that last stretch in the past 10 games. And the Orlando Magic, I got to go all the way to the bottom here. They're 1-8 on the road, averaging 108 points.
Well,
Brooklyn's averaging 111 though.
I think they lose. I still think Orlando loses, but I don't think Brooklyn covers. So I'm going to go with Orlando. 9.5, you said, right? 9.5 points?
Yeah. There's a lot of scoring here. I actually like the over more than I like any other part of this game, but I'll go Orlando with the 9.5 as well.
Woo!
Brooklyn
those
just
picks are for free.
Those reminder when you send it. I thought you said.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Oklahoma City. Oh, I'm sorry. Cleveland Cavaliers 13-7 on the road to Toronto, 10-9 on the year. Toronto is a 2.5-point favorite here. Toronto's been 7-2 on home, so they've been pretty good, even though they split the last 10 evenly at 5-5. And your Cleveland Cavaliers, which are ranking third in the Eastern Conference so far, are 5-6 on the road, and
what's the spread again?
5-5. So the spread is Toronto minus 2.5.
I'll take Cleveland. That's basically almost a pick'em game.
It's almost a pick'em. I like Toronto. They are a different team at home. They play really well at home, so I'll lay the 2.5.
There we go.
They win by 4 to 6 points. Hopefully, the over/under. Neither one of these teams tend to score a bunch of points here. Cleveland is averaging 114, which is pretty good. Toronto is 111. So if you put those together, it's 225.
Yeah.
So they just talked me into going over.
I was like, all right. What is the over/under on it?
214.
214. Yeah.
Now, that seems like to be an error.
I'll go.
Check your app. Make sure I didn't screw that point spread up. But it might be 224.5. But if it is, they're averaging 226. I'll still go over if that spread's right.
All right. I'll go over there as well.
Oklahoma City Thunder 8-12 against the Pelicans. Pelicans are at home. They're 11-8. New Orleans 5.5-point favorites at home. 232.5. So they expect zero defense here.
Wow.
Looking down on the old stat sheet, New Orleans is currently sitting fourth in the Western Conference, 6-3 at home. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're averaging 117 a game. Meanwhile, what did I say they're playing? Oklahoma City. I know. Yeah, they're 4-6. They're 3-7 on the road. They're averaging 116.
I'll take New Orleans.
I'll take New Orleans as well. I'm going to go under. That's a lot of points to try to score. I'll go under for both teams. They both got to get 116.
I think they'll get there.
You think they'll get it?
Yeah.
All right, those picks are for free.
Yeah, they're free.
All right,
they're free,
4 more games left. Houston Rockets. They're at the Denver Nuggets. 5-14 of the Rockets, 12-7 the Nuggets. Denver 11.5-point home favorites here. Over under 228.5. Mark.
What's the point spread again?
Point spread is the Denver Nuggets minus 11.5.
Yeah, I'll go Denver. I go Denver, and I'll go under.
Yeah, Denver's only had 6 home games this year out of all those, so they've been they're 4-2 in those games, but not a lot of home games yet to really get on. But the Houston Rockets just plain out stink.
They don't sing that same chant that the Broncos, do they?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
But they're 2-9 on the road here as the Houston Rockets. So
you're taking the Rockets?
No, I'm going to assume Denver's fully healthy and can win this game.
No, all right. Darn it.
Chicago Bulls 2.5-point road dogs to the Utah Jazz after a hot start. Utah's cooled off. They're now 12-10. Matter of fact, Utah is 3-7 in their last 10 games. After starting out their first 5 or 6, they went undefeated. So Utah's slight favorite, 2.5, 235.5 at home. Mark is the over/under.
They got a lot of injuries, do they?
No, they traded a lot of folks, and then they just turn around, and I guess they really exceeded expectations early and are coming back to earth, would be my guess.
What's the spread again?
Spread is Utah minus 2.5.
I'll go Utah because that's why they got such a pick'em game if they're that bad at.
I don't know. I mean, the Bulls are kind of underperforming, but they are just 3-6 on the road. So Utah is a tough place to play traditionally, no matter what teams they have there. And for that spread, I'll take Utah as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think they got it so low because Utah has been dump trucking lately. They've been going down. At one time, let's see, what do they got here? 12-10. They are 3-7 in their last 10. So they've been on a slide.
Huh. Yeah, I'm taking Utah.
Okay, Utah, and I'm going under.
Yeah, I'll go under.
I think they're struggling to score a little bit later.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one for you. Phoenix Suns, who are currently tops of the West, number 1 seed, even though it's early. They're at Sacramento, who's 10-8, greatly improved. I'll give them that. But Sacramento is favored at home by 1.5, so it's not much, but they are favored. And over under 231.5, Mark.
Under and the Suns.
Suns, and I'm going to go over.
You're going to give me a point? I'll take the Suns.
No, that's right. I'm going to take the Suns. I think they flat out win, but I do like the over in this game here.
Yeah, okay.
Suns are averaging 115 points a contest, and the Kings are scoring 120 a contest on average. That's a lot of points that they're at. So they defense optional here.
Yeah.
And then the Indiana Pacers are at the Lakers. Lakers playing a little better lately. They're 5-5 in their last 10, even all the way across here. Los Angeles is favored by 3.5 at home and 236.5 the over/under. What do you like there?
I like the Pacers. I know G's probably not going to like that, but I like the Pacers.
Pacers are 7-3 in their last 10, so they're playing really good ball, and they're dead even 4-4 rather on the road this year. 3.5. I wish there was a little more points, but I'll go ahead and take the Pacers with you. And in this game, I do like the under.
Hey, I'll go
Pacers
under.
in the under.
I'll agree with you there. Under.
All right, that's your NBA and college action on a Odds Brothers podcast.
All those for free.
All those for free.
How about that?
You'll get them live. Keep in mind, subscribe, like on YouTube. If you like the audio version on all your platforms that you can think of, all the major ones anyway.
That's
and then
right.
if you happen to be in West Memphis, stop by the Southland Casino and Hotel. You can see us broadcasting on Monday and Fridays around lunchtime, usually inside the sports book, the Bentley Sports
That's
book.
right. And if you think you got something that can beat us as
Yeah.
far as the Pick 6 goes and you want to try to get some free food, just stop by and see one of us.
Now, we have thrown down the gauntlet to OC.
Oh,
He was the only
I told you
average
to be
Joe.
careful.
The only average Joe to beat both of us.
Careful.
Still salty. So hopefully he can find some time. It'll probably be right after Christmas, but we'll get him on and have one more crack at him to see if we can establish supremacy once again.
You know,
for the pros.
if we do beat him, he's probably going to tell us it was a Christmas gift.
That's all right. I'll take it, unwrap it, and put it right on the mantle, baby. Well, I'll take an even 1-1 against the OC.
All right.
All right. Anything else we got on there on Bentley, the promotions, or anything you want to mention?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, then hopefully we should have an average Joe and a high riser.
And a high riser, yeah.
So there'll be a 4-way action for picks this weekend.
Woo!
We'll do a smorgasbord. We'll do some college. We'll do some pro. We'll do basketball. We'll be thrown in there. Some of the best games on the slate. And, of course, our Pick 6 for the NFL continues for Week 13. Can anybody catch us in time?
No.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Not going to be able to do it.
And that's why they stay at home or eat a lot of turkey.
Yeah, they're like, oh, no, I fell asleep watching the sunrise.
Watching the sunrise.
Whatever excuses they got.
Okay.
It's one thing after another. Don't be
is.
afraid. And if you lose, big deal. You get a free T-shirt.
Yeah, and they're very comfy and just in time for Christmas stocking stuffers.
Yeah, that's
An Odds
right.
Brothers T-shirt.
An Odds Brothers T-shirt. Give it to your loved ones.
Let's do it. We'll wear that next week.
What?
Pimp them out.
The
Odds Brothers
stockings?
T-shirt on Friday. Yeah, we'll wear nothing but stockings.
All
on the
right.
show.
You get ready for that,
Merry
Kyle.
Christmas, Kyle. All right, here we go.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Bentley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.bentley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.